So what's up guys, welcome back to another video in the introduction to Genie. So this is the 6th video, I think. So in the last video we saw about creating records and rendering them, and also some few things in the records controller. So I realized that I've been using Julia and Genie interchangeably, and also lists and arrays interchangeably. So guys, just please forgive me for any of those things if you realize in the video. So in this video we'll be seeing views. So I had created something over here that I want to delete so that I can start over, so that we can go over together. First, views is a very nice way of rendering content in Genie. The last video was already long, so that is why I did cut some few things that I had mentioned. So what we'll be covering in this video is introduction to Genie. So we'll be setting up Genie views, and finally, as we end the video, see how we can make shared template styles. So guys, please like and also subscribe to my channel and these videos. So for this, let's get started. So in the last video, if you still have this copy, then you realize that there is some content inside the record that I have cleared. And also, if you can go to my root.jl, you can see that I did remove some few things over here. Previously, I think this page was something like it. When we are going to use something that we are doing, when you're using views, then this other part is not so important. You can always do this and also give the name to wherever you want to this, but for now that is not so important, so we'll leave that out so that I can show you in some where we'll be doing some other things. So this is simply the easiest way you can do. I think you can see I just did give the path and then the function, because if you can see this, it takes some few, it takes path and then the string, and then the path, which is string, and then the action, which is the function. So I think you can see this is something that is very helpful if you have these autocompletes. So now let's go into changing the records to what we want. Now in these records we'll be using HTML renderer. So import this one using Genie renderer.html, because we will need it. And then over here we will need html.ht. Now should we do HTML? I think it already imports. So the first argument is the path. So let's set up first our views. So since we are working in the records controller, so it means that all of this app is dealing with records. So inside records, create a new folder. Inside the records, create a new folder and call it views. So this is what Julia expects, so you have to do it. Genie expects. I'm really sorry for Julia and Genie. So Genie expects you to have inside the records views, and then inside the views you can now create templates you want. Any template, any name can work over here, but for these we'll be using record list.jl. Now this is another part you need to know. The name from here, record list, can be anything, but .jl.html is what you have to always name. Genie has two ways of rendering records in views. You can use markdown or you can use HTML, but in this video I'll be using HTML, and maybe in the next or not I'll be showing you markdown, so depending on what I will see. So just hit enter to create the file. Now this one you can put plain HTML code. This is another good thing why you will always want to do it over here. You can use styles, anything you want. Now we can say this is my to-do list. This is my to-do list. So inside here again you can put Genie code. For instance, let me go over here and show you what we need so that you can come back here. So these records function that return records will be taking in two things. First is the folder that is expecting, which is in our case is the records, like which resource do you want me to use, which in our case is records. We are using the records resource. Now it's records, and then again you give a comma, the template inside the record. So it will look for templates inside views automatically, so you don't need to give again the views / records. You just give the name. You don't even need to include jl.html, which is in our case is records list. So, and then the third argument can always be the data you want to send to the friend, which is in our case is the example, but you have to name it as it will be expected over there. So since we are naming it, since it's examples, we can just say it's to-do list. Let's just name to-do, and then we assign the value, which is examples in our case. So that is pretty much everything for this. You give the resource that is used, it should be used, and then the list, and then the template name, and then the data you want to send over there. If you have, if you don't have, you can leave this other part. So but for this, let's do now, since we are expecting to loop over the to-do list so that we can use in an ordered list, we can make an ordered list, and then inside an ordered list now is where we can create the list. So when you are making up something like a loop in Julia, you always have an helper function which is called for each. Now this is another thing, blocks in Julia using the Flux template rendering engine, which is the default for Genie. Then you use this, and you have to also close it that way. And since this is a block, you also have to close with an end. And since it's still a block, then you use the same things, these ones. So it's this angle bracket, and then the percentage sign for each, and then for each, and then what do you want to do? It's we call to-do list for each to do, and then what do you want to do for each, name it record. You see, let's name it record, and then for each record that will be created, what do you want to do? You want to put it inside a list, a normal HTML list. Now this is pretty much everything. Now when you are using arrays, when you're using variables, then you use $sign, just like the way you normally do in Julia. But now it's a record dot title, and then the location is, I hope you're seeing location is in our case again $sign, and then record dot location. So this is it for each record in the to-do list. Make a list for it, and then you know it, since it's a block, you have to close it. Where does that come from? It's over here. We are sending it over here. Now save everything in all the pages, including these, and then go to your page and start and try refreshing the page. I hope you don't get an error. For some reason this page is not showing anything. With extension .jl, saying that the template is not fine. I'm not here. Let me check the name. Okay, I think I had some spelling because I think the code, I think maybe possibly I had some spelling errors over there. Let me see. Nothing. Now it's returning nothing because I think to do this is example. Let me check it over here. For each thing to do, then do this record to that, then I change the record to that for each. Okay, I was wondering what I was missing out, but when you're doing for each, then you have to put these at for each. So I'm really sorry for that. Let me refresh. Now you see we are getting the bookings. I was about to say it's boring. We are getting the to-do list over here. So guys, this is everything for this video. In the next video we'll start looking at sharing and styling this page. So guys, please don't forget to subscribe and like this video. So let's meet in the next video.